Our latest thumbnail really touched a nerve with some folks, which is fine. The algorithm doesn't really care whether engagement is positive or negative, so thanks to everyone who took the time to comment. One way we can tell if someone actually watched the video is what they focus on in the comments. The thumbnail only featured bread, but the video compares 3 items: bread, pizza, and ice cream. So comments that focus only on bread are a good hint that the video wasn't actually watched. Another clue is when someone opens with, "didn't watch." Fair enough. But it makes discussing the details accurately a little bit tricky. So just to recap the assignment, we asked for prices on fresh bakery-made bread, hand-tossed pizza with homemade dough and real cheese, and single-scoop gelato from local shops, not supermarket or mass-produced options. The goal was a head-to-head, like-for-like comparison across locations, so the prices are meaningful in context. With that in mind, let's look at some comments and clarify a few things. Someone commented that we shouldn't compare to California because it's a socialist overtaxed state. The reason we included California is simple. People from California sent in their prices. But California wasn't the only source. We also received data from Minnesota, Missouri, Washington, Oregon, West Virginia, New York, Canada, and Japan. And another funny thing, whether it was Burbank or Missouri, U.S. bakery prices were still 5 to 10 times the price of bread we bought here in Shkodër. So the comparison isn't political. It's just geography. That commenter also mentioned Malaysia and Vietnam being cheaper, which is true. They have very different political and economic systems from each other and from Albania and California, yet the food prices are still dramatically lower. That reinforces the main point. Price differences aren't really ideological. They're geographical, cultural, and economic. Apparently, Walmart sells the same roll in all of their stores, but calls it by different names depending on the location. And yeah, Walmart does have cheap bread, 100% agree. But no one has ever accused Walmart of being a locally owned neighborhood bakery, which was the assignment. There's no Walmart here in Shkodër, so it's not an accurate comparison. When we compare bakery to bakery, U.S. prices averaged $6 to $12 versus about $1 here in Shkodër. It's just a totally different lane. Next, the person who started with "didn't watch" and said that bread in their area is nowhere near $10. If they had watched, they'd know the details of what we were comparing. Another viewer, or commenter, not viewer, mentioned that bread in Phoenix runs about $4.50 to $5. The confusion here comes from mixing factory bread with fresh bakery bread. U.S. factory loaves in that price range are completely normal. They're just not the same product category as the bakery loaves that we checked across the country, which again ranged from anywhere from $6 or $7 all the way up to $20 in one case. So to these individual commenters, "didn't watch? Your price isn't wrong. It's just a different type of bread. And Phoenix is $4.50? Our thumbnail isn't misleading. You're just looking at a different category." We've also had several people call us liars in the comments, which really means that all of the people who responded to the homework are lying. Are we all part of some grand conspiracy? Or did you maybe just get triggered by a YouTube thumbnail? We also noticed that someone who previously wrote in as an expert on tipping and referred to us as naive on that subject, is also an authority on fresh-baked bread across the entire U.S. and called us hyperbolic this time in a video they clearly didn't watch. Finally, someone pointed out that in the UK, you can get bread for 80 pence. That's supermarket pricing, and bakery-to-bakery comparisons look very different. Just to give some context, fresh bakery loaves at a local UK bakery can cost around £2.50 for a smaller sourdough or £3.50 for a standard artisan loaf. High-end bakeries easily reach over £5 a loaf. So comparing like-for-like products really shows how much prices can vary depending on where you live. And again, as we mentioned in the video that so many commenters didn't watch, this series is not about how cheap things are in Albania. It's about how overpriced things are in the US and other parts of the Western world. So I hope this clears things up. If you're enjoying this price comparison series, go ahead and give the algorithm a little nudge. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back soon with more. Lastly, if there's a particular comparison you'd like to see us cover, let us know in the comments. We can't respond to every one, but we do read them all. See you next time.